These mechanical titans effortlessly crush the remaining concrete, paving the way for a highly specialized extraction process to begin shortly. Equipped with incredibly powerful electromagnetic attachments, these formidable excavators emerge as the absolute rulers of this desolate industrial demolition landscape. The massive circular electromagnet descends gracefully toward the debris, preparing to unleash its unseen magnetic power upon the hidden metals. Inside the cabin, the skilled operator activates the powerful magnetic field, initiating a truly spectacular display of modern industrial engineering. Instantly, heavy steel beams violently tear through the concrete dust, flying upward to attach firmly onto the giant magnetic disc. Watching this process unfold in slow motion reveals the raw, majestic force that effortlessly separates valuable iron from useless rubble. The mechanical arm smoothly pivots across the dusty yard, safely transporting several tons of salvaged metal through the thick air. With a simple flick of a switch, the magnetic grip releases, dropping the heavy payload into a neatly organized pile. Thick clouds of gray dust dramatically billow outward, quickly settling as the relentless machine returns to hunt for more steel. From high above, we can witness a truly synchronized mechanical ballet as dozens of machines work tirelessly across the wasteland. These severely warped and rusted beams carry the heavy legacy of old structures, waiting patiently to be entirely reborn today. Skilled workers expertly utilize bright acetylene torches to slice through the longest beams, making them significantly easier to transport safely. Brilliant showers of golden sparks illuminate the dusty environment, showcasing the intense human labor required in this massive recycling operation. Massive heavy-duty dump trucks continuously arrive at the busy staging area, preparing to receive their heavy cargo of salvaged steel. Specialized grapple claws efficiently scoop up the fragmented metal pieces, loading them into the reinforced truck beds with deafening crashes. The heavy truck beds violently shake under the immense weight of the falling iron, preparing for the long journey ahead. Fully loaded and dangerously heavy, the sturdy transport vehicles finally depart the dusty demolition zone, heading straight toward the foundries. A seemingly endless convoy of trucks travels across the vast Iranian desert, forming a crucial logistical vein for the economy. As the desert sun begins to set, the urgent delivery of raw materials continues without any pause or hesitation whatsoever. The massive gates of the steel foundry swing open, eagerly welcoming the newly arrived shipments of incredibly valuable scrap metal. Deep inside the facility, the intense radiant heat from gargantuan furnaces vividly illuminates the determined faces of dedicated industrial workers. The heavy trucks unload their entire metallic payload directly into massive receiving hoppers, preparing the iron for its ultimate transformation. Gigantic industrial conveyor belts steadily transport the jagged iron fragments upward, moving them directly toward the gaping mouth of hell. The jagged scrap pieces free fall into a brilliantly glowing sea of molten fire, instantly surrendering to the overwhelming thermal energy. Temperatures reaching thousands of degrees Celsius effortlessly melt down even the thickest and most stubborn steel beams within mere seconds. The bubbling liquid metal glows with a blinding intensity, closely resembling active volcanic lava flowing deep within the Earth's core. Highly trained metallurgists wearing silver heat-reflective suits carefully monitor the dangerous process, ensuring the molten mixture reaches absolute chemical perfection. The massive furnace slowly tilts forward, pouring a mesmerizing waterfall of glowing red liquid directly into the waiting casting molds. Fierce sparks explode violently in all directions as the superheated liquid steel powerfully collides with the significantly colder mold surfaces. Thick clouds of steam billow dramatically as high-pressure water cooling systems spray directly onto the molds to solidify the metal. Glowing red rectangular steel billets slowly emerge from the continuous casting machinery, radiating intense waves of extreme heat and energy. The hot billets pass rapidly through massive industrial rollers, being squeezed and stretched to form standardized structural shapes and sizes. During the rigorous rolling process, the glowing metal becomes significantly longer and thinner with each pass through the heavy machinery. A powerful industrial shear slices cleanly through the red-hot steel, effortlessly cutting it into perfectly equal and highly precise lengths. As they travel further down the line, the freshly cut beams gradually cool down, returning to their characteristic gray color. Overhead factory cranes swiftly lift heavy bundles of newly forged steel bars, stacking them neatly inside the massive storage warehouse. The factory foreman looks on with immense pride, carefully inspecting the high-quality finished bundles that represent true industrial rebirth today. Meanwhile, back at the sprawling scrapyard, the relentless demolition work continues as excavators smash apart the remaining concrete slabs. The powerful electromagnet continuously sweeps through the dusty rubble, relentlessly searching for and extracting even the smallest pieces of metal. A completely destroyed old engine block is violently yanked out of the trash pile, instantly captured by the magnetic field. Dedicated workers manually sort through the remaining non-ferrous materials, carefully separating highly valuable copper and aluminum pieces from the dirt. Shiny coils of salvaged copper wire are stacked separately in neat piles, waiting patiently to be recycled in another facility. A massive industrial shredder violently chews up thin sheets of scrap metal, spitting them out as tiny, uniform metallic pellets. These shredded pellets are then transported through a high-pressure washing system to thoroughly remove any lingering grease, oil, and dirt. Murky wastewater flows safely away from the washing system, while the newly cleaned metal fragments emerge sparkling clean and reflective. The purified metal pellets are immediately compressed into perfectly square, highly dense blocks by a remarkably powerful hydraulic baling press. Hundreds of these perfectly compressed square metal blocks are stacked neatly on top of each other like giant building bricks. Nimble forklifts move swiftly around the busy yard, loading these dense metal blocks onto waiting transport trucks for global export. This comprehensive overview captures the entire fascinating process, from initial demolition to final packaging, highlighting an incredibly massive industrial scale. Across the vast nation of Iran, numerous specialized recycling industrial zones operate continuously to support the rapidly growing domestic economy. Recent economic data clearly shows recycled steel production skyrocketing, demonstrating its massive contribution to the recovering national economy and infrastructure. Today, modern skyscrapers are actively under construction, utilizing the very same recycled steel beams that were recently forged from ruins. Brave construction workers are busy assembling a massive steel framework for a brand new bridge spanning across a wide river. A flawless weld permanently joins two recycled steel beams together, symbolizing the incredible enduring strength of this sustainable industrial cycle. Long freight trains loaded with finished steel products speed through the landscape, delivering essential building materials to rapidly developing cities. Returning to the original demolition site, dedicated crews work diligently to clear away the very last piles of concrete rubble. The site is now completely cleared, revealing a vast expanse of empty land perfectly ready for a brand new development. A modern urban complex will soon rise directly over this newly cleared plot, bringing fresh life to the old foundations. A young engineer holding blueprints smiles optimistically, envisioning the bright future that this completely cleared land will eventually provide tomorrow. This incredible transformation from chaotic, rusted rubble into gleaming, newly manufactured steel coils is a testament to modern human ingenuity. The hard-working electromagnetic excavators undergo routine maintenance as mechanics carefully grease the heavy joints to ensure maximum operational efficiency tomorrow. The grease-stained hands of dedicated mechanics keep these mechanical beasts running smoothly, securing every bolt against the harsh desert environment. Wiping sweat from his forehead, the mechanic reflects a deep sense of pride in maintaining the heartbeat of this industry. As night finally falls over the sprawling industrial zone, thousands of powerful floodlights switch on to illuminate the massive area. The critical recycling operations continue frantically under the bright artificial lights, showing absolutely no signs of stopping despite the darkness. The steel smelting furnace glows intensely in the dark night, emitting ethereal columns of white smoke into the starry sky. The flowing stream of molten metal looks even more brilliant and mesmerizing against the pitch-black backdrop of the factory night. Dedicated night shift workers take large gulps of water, wipe their sweat, and quickly resume their highly demanding physical labor. Another heavy transport truck, fully loaded with finished steel coils, departs the factory gates, its headlights cutting through the darkness. As dawn begins to break, the early morning sun beautifully illuminates the shiny steel coils moving steadily along the highway. At a bustling seaport, giant dock cranes are efficiently loading heavy steel coils onto massive cargo ships for international export. The massive cargo ship cuts through the the ocean waves, proudly carrying recycled steel products out to the hungry global market. Back home, bustling local markets showcase how the citizens' daily lives are gradually stabilizing and thriving within a recovering economy. Demolition workers sit together comfortably, drinking traditional tea and chatting cheerfully after successfully completing their incredibly long and exhausting shift. A radiant smile from an excavator operator shines brightly, his white teeth standing out starkly against his dirt-streaked, tired face. Urban walls decorated with colorful graffiti proudly depict heroic industrial workers and massive recycling machinery, celebrating their vital national contribution. Inside a vocational classroom, young students are being carefully instructed on how to safely operate complex recycling equipment and machinery. The knowledgeable instructor points to a scale model of an electromagnet, enthusiastically explaining its operational principles to the attentive students. Intense focus shines in the eyes of young students, reflecting a deep desire to contribute toward the nation's industrial future. Returning to the active field, another dilapidated concrete building is fully wired and preparing to face a controlled explosive demolition. In stunning slow motion, the old building collapses gracefully into a massive cloud of dust, ending its long structural life cycle. Even before the dust fully settles, the imposing silhouettes of electromagnetic excavators emerge ominously from the thick gray debris cloud. The endless industrial cycle begins anew as the very first rusted steel beam is violently magnetically sucked into the air. A rapid time-lapse sequence beautifully illustrates the massive pile of rubble being completely cleared away by machines in mere seconds. A breathtaking sunset falls over the desert, framing the dark silhouettes of excavators perfectly against a vibrant, fiery red sky. A tiny, vibrant green plant sprout pushes its way up through a crack in an overlooked, weathered block of concrete. This delicate balance between the heavy recycling industry and ongoing efforts to protect the natural environment remains absolutely crucial today. Exhausted workers take off their heavy protective gear and walk together toward the waiting company bus as their shift ends. The transport bus drives smoothly down a quiet road, leaving the noisy, dusty industrial zone far behind in the distance. A modern, vibrant city skyline glows brightly at night, built largely from the very resources recovered through these relentless efforts. Every perfectly smooth, sturdy steel beam installed here represents a massive triumph of industrial recycling and sustainable modern engineering practices. Thank you for watching Demolition Worker. Join us next time as we continue to uncover the hidden machinery shaping tomorrow. Welcome back to Demolition Worker, where we uncover the fascinating world of industrial scrap recycling hidden within the heart of Iran. Iran has long been celebrated for its robust steel industry, a towering symbol of national strength and enduring economic resilience. Today, millions of tons of scrap iron from ancient buildings are systematically collected to feed the hungry furnaces once again. This monumental undertaking is not merely about clearing space. It represents a vital lifeline for the entire domestic manufacturing sector. Heavy machinery soon arrives on the scene, ready to tackle the overwhelming chaos left behind by decades of urban expansion.